What is up guys, Jarv here, back today jumping into Destiny. In today's video, we're taking a look at the god rolls for all the Dawning weapons. There are 6 weapons available in this year's event, so if you want to check out all the perks, the origin traits and the rolls you should be chasing, then be sure to stick around and enjoy the video. If you do enjoy the video, be sure to leave a comment and rating down below, and remember to subscribe for more Destiny 2 content. But without further delay guys, let's jump into the video. Another new season and another cash grabbing event. The Dawning returns for 2023. We have to gather ingredients and bake some cookies in the holiday oven and gift them to our favourite characters for sweet rewards. And once again, our space grandma Eva Levante will be waiting for us over in the tower. Now, as with each Dawning event, there will be various upgrades you can unlock, including bonus event rewards, the ability to earn Dawning weapons with additional perks from Eva, increased power and utility for stasis snowballs, and new for 2023 weapon focusing that allows you to target farm particular weapon drops. This will make getting a god roll so much easier, which is ideal especially as the event runs for just 3 weeks. Now, all the Dawning weapons have their own origin traits, with all 6 coming with Dawning Surprise. This is the Dawning exclusive trait, where rapidly defeating targets awards a Dawning gift, and defeating powerful targets will count as more than one. Now, picking up these gifts grants 10% of your grenade, melee and class ability energy, will grant 20 health points, and will immediately start health regeneration. Now, as well as the origin trait, we have seen one brand new weapon added for this year's event, as well as a refresh across all the perk pools for the remaining weapons. With that in mind, we're going to take a look at all 6, kicking off with the Yabido Wing. Now, the Yabido Wing is a brand new arc aggressive glaive. This can be earned during the Dawning event, and is a hard-hitting, slow melee ranged polearm with a frontal shield. Now, as well as the origin trait Dawning Surprise, this also has the Hake Breach Armaments origin trait, which is where the weapon deals increased damage against vehicles and constructs. Now, this glaive has 7 perks across the board in both columns. In the first column, you'll find Grave Robber, Beacon Rounds, which is brand new for Season 23, where final blows with this weapon grant your projectiles tracking, and dealing further damage extends the duration. That's alongside Replenishing Aegis, a movable object, keep away, clown cartridge, and field prep. And as for the final column, you'll have Golden Tricorn, Demolitionist, Lead from Gold, Deconstruct, again brand new for this season. This is where dealing sustained damage grants bonus damage against vehicles and constructs, and partially refills the magazine from reserves. That's alongside Attrition Orbs, which is also new, where dealing sustained damage creates an orb of power. And that's followed by High Impact Reserves and Close to Melee. Now, there aren't too many aggressive glaives in Destiny 2, especially those with things like Deconstruct. And one thing to bear in mind is that Deconstruct will stack with the Hake Breach Armaments origin trait. In some instances, this will allow the glaive to deal 85% more damage against certain constructs, and could be a deadly combination and one well worth considering. Now, next up we have the Glacioclasm. This is a void fusion rifle which is high impact frame. It's therefore slow firing but deals high damage. Now, this is a reissued weapon but does have some new perks for 2023. Alongside Dawning Surprise, this actually has the Omolon Fluid Dynamics origin trait, where the weapon has increased reload speed and stability for the top half of the magazine. As for traits, this also has 7 perks in each column. In the first column, you'll find Slide Shot, Subsistence, Repulsor Brace, Under Pressure, Killing Wind, Heating Up, and Overflow. And as for the final column, you'll find Reservoir Burst, Golden Tricorn, High Impact Reserves, Eye of the Storm, Fragile Focus, Controlled Burst, and Successful Warm-Up. Now, the Glacioclasm is one of few fusion rifles that can roll with Reservoir Burst, and when you have perks like Slide Shot and Subsistence which can refund the mag, perks like those should allow you to proc Reservoir Burst more often, dealing incredible damage. Another trait to keep an eye on though is Controlled Burst, where landing every shot in the burst grants this weapon increased damage and reduces the charge time for a short duration. All in all, a very popular trait, especially on other fusion rifles, but is there enough here to warrant you chasing down this weapon once again? Now, next up we have the Stay Frosty. This is a stasis pulse rifle. This one is lightweight frame, so it has superb handling and you move faster when you have the weapon equipped. And much like the Glacioclasm, this comes with the Dawning Surprise and the Omolon Fluid Dynamics origin traits. Once again, you'll find 7 perks in each column. For the Stay Frosty, we have the Encore, Tunnel Vision, Move in Target, Killing Wind, Offhand Strike, Enlightened Action, where dealing damage improves reload speed and handling, and Heating Up. And in the final column, you'll find Desperado, Headstone, Kill Clip, Headseeker, Under Over, Attrition Orbs, and Collective Action. Now, in general, there are some competitive perks when it comes to Crucible that can create a very stable and competitive base when it comes to lightweight frame pulse rifles. Things like Heating Up and Headseeker could be a very viable combination. With that being said though, if you're looking for something to reduce the time to kill, then Enlightened Action paired with Kill Clip could be a very viable choice. And a thing to remember is, whilst this doesn't have Outlaw to help you take advantage of things like Kill Clip and Desperado, you can combine the Enlightened Action trait with the Omolon Fluid Dynamics origin trait. Both of these will improve the reload speed, whereas the Omolon trait will also help improve the stability for the top half of the mag. All in all, a very solid base, and one that could show potential, especially inside the Crucible. Now, next up we have the Zephyr Sword. This is a stasis sword which is adaptive frame. Now, the only origin trait this weapon has is Dawning Surprise, but it does also have 7 perks per column. These include Unrelenting, Relentless Strikes, Duelist's Trance, Wellspring, Tireless Blade, Turnabout, and Adaptive Munitions. That's alongside Vorpal Weapon, Surrounded, Whirlwind Blade, Chain Reaction, perk that's exclusive to this weapon in the form of Cold Steel, and this is where powered sword hits slow targets. That's followed by Attrition Orbs and also Collective Action. Now, whilst a lot of those perks are fairly solid when it comes to swords, one of the biggest changes that I would have liked to have seen is changing this from an adaptive frame to a vortex frame. Being surrounded with a vortex frame and doing a heavy attack to slow all your targets that are surrounding you could offer excellent utility and would help truly make this weapon unique. That being said though, Relentless Strikes and Chain Reaction is always a solid combination. But outside that though, what kind of perk combinations are you chasing? Is this a sword that you're even excited for? Be sure to sound off down in the comments below. Now, next up we have the Cold Front Submachine Gun. This one's aggressive frame, so it deals high damage but has high recoil. Now, this SMG has 2 origin traits in the form of Dawning Surprise and the Hake Breach armaments traits, and once again has 7 perks per column. These perks are Perpetual Motion, Unrelenting, Subsistence, Stats for All, Tap the Trigger, Enlightened Action, and Rewind Rounds. And for the final column you have Rampage, One for All, Frenzy, Rangefinder, Cascade Point, Attrition Orbs, and Deconstruct. Now, there's a lot of perks here that makes this very strong for PvE. Now, as an aggressive frame, you will need to combat that slower reload, so things like Stats for All or Enlightened Action could be viable choices, or you could circumvent it completely and go for things like Subsistence. And as for the final column, you are spoiled for choice when it comes to extra damage dealing perks. Rampage, One for All, and Frenzy, but maybe a combination to consider for the Crucible is something like Perpetual Motion and Cascade Point. Perpetual Motion improves your stability, handling, and reload whilst in motion, and Cascade Point will improve the weapon's rate of fire, massively improving the weapon's time to kill. If you can have Cascade Point active on this weapon, the time to kill will be just 0.53 of a second. If the Cold Front wasn't on your list of things to farm for the Dawning 2023, then it might be time to add that to your list when jumping into this year's event. Now, the final weapon we're going to take a look at is the Avalanche Machine Gun. This one deals solo damage and is adaptive frame, so it has a well-rounded grip, is reliable and sturdy. Alongside Dawning Surprise, this has the Suros Synergy origin trait, where reloading grants the weapon bonus handling and reduces flinch for a very short time. As for main legendary traits, we have 7 perks in the first column and just 6 in the final column. In the first column, you'll find Autoloading Holster, Subsistence, Dynamic Sway Reduction, Surplus, Stats for All, Rewind Rounds, and Under Over. And as for the final column, you'll find Adrenaline Junkie, Incandescent, Vorpal Weapon, Cascade Point, Target Lock, where damage increases the longer the weapon remains on target, and One for All. This is up there with one of my favourite weapons when it comes to Dawning, and if you're looking for a great machine gun for ad clear, then something like Subsistence and Incandescent is an incredible combination. Naturally though, if you're looking for a single target weapon, then you're probably not using a machine gun anyway, but if you were, then auto-loading holster and target lock could be a worthy combination. Out of all 6 weapons on offer for this year's Dawning event, what one are you chasing and what's the god roll in your eyes? Be sure to let me know down in the comments below. So there we have it guys, a good look at all the weapons for this year's Dawning event. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to check out one of the 2 videos you see here in these cards for more Destiny 2 content. And if you want to keep up to date with everything to do with Destiny 2, then be sure to hit subscribe as well. I'm going to jump into the game as always guys, and I will catch you all again very soon.